Hey guys, just want to make a video to hopefully address and answer some questions I had when I was looking at buying different headbands between manufacturers. So here on the left, I got them all lined up equally, but as you can see, once we get to the end here, not all headbands are created equal in terms of length. This one here is the OCD one, being the shortest. Next up is the HK Army, Exalt, and the OG Danas. In terms of washability and stainability, the OG Dana ones, you can kind of see some of that yellow-orange fill on some of the spots. I also got a little bit more yellow down here. Wasn't able to wash out, but that's just on the white parts, so I don't know. I can't speak to other ones. That's my only one I've owned from OG Dana. The HK Army I haven't worn yet. This one's still brand new. The Exalt one I've given a couple spins, and I don't see anywhere on it that it's gotten any stains. The OCD headbands. This one's a weird anomaly. The first time I washed it, I have no idea what happened, whether it was the yellow here that released itself and dyed the rest of it. The whole thing turned this funky kind of yellow. And as you can see here, I sent them an email asking them about it, being like, hey, I washed it the first time and it dyed itself. And they're like, well, that shouldn't happen. They come pre-dyed. They've already come pre-washed. And they're like, sorry about that. Here's a new one. In fact, it came to me all crumply because he goes, I hand washed this personally through the wash and hand washed it to make sure that it wouldn't do what yours allegedly did. And he proclaimed that that shouldn't happen, but I have no idea. Might have been just a weird anomaly. I have no idea. But nothing else in the wash got dyed yellow except for that. As far as the materials go, the OG Dana, it definitely feels like a good solid denim canvas, I'll say, material. Whereas the Exalt here, it's kind of like a weird synthetic, kind of like a soft cloth type denim. It's hard to describe, but basically in some areas here, it's kind of like balling up, you know, like a fleece jacket might do. That's kind of doing that in some places. As you can see, it's kind of getting light and kind of feathery. The HK Army, it definitely feels like a nice solid, like canvas type denim. Same thing with this guy. It's kind of stiff, let's say. As far as the cut goes, the OG Dana, this guy's like robot made. Same thing with the Exalt. No big spots that I can see. The OCD one down here, this one kind of has like a high spot here. It's not cut exactly perfectly straight. It's kind of got a little bit of a high spot, and I'd even say, again, down here, there's yet another high spot, so it's a little wavy in terms of the cut. Let's see. The terry cloth, you flip them all over here. Pretty much standard terry cloth. Exalt uses a microfiber, which I'm not a big fan of. I feel like it doesn't absorb as much as it would normally. I don't know, that's just me. I'm not a big fan of microfiber, to be honest. And then, for whatever reason, OG Dana used a brown terry cloth, but it works just fine. What else did I want to address? Aside from that, I mean, the stitching on these guys are a little rough with the OCD. You can kind of see some frayed edges there. All of HK Army's is spot on, because you know the quality that I should be making them at, considering they're like a massive corporation now. The Exalt, same thing, high quality stitching. And I'd have to say the same for the OG Danas as well. There's some more of that staining I was talking about. But overall, hopefully that addressed some of your issues. Oh, and the last one about the Exalt. I was wondering when I saw photos of it if I'm gonna get that exact print, the way that the pattern is overlaid on the entire length of it. To answer that question is no. That is just a stock photo if you're looking at like ANS gear. Because yeah, this is all just part of like a big bolt of fabric, and then you just cut them in strips and slices. So you know, headband number one's not going to be identical to headband number two. So to answer that question, whereas with let's see here, these guys, the flying skulls on the HK Army headbands, these guys are specifically made. So by that I mean your skull placement's going to be perfectly down the middle every time. Every headband's going to look nearly identical because the way that they have the fabric laid out is it's a I don't know how to describe it, but basically it's a print that it has it perfectly centered. Same thing with the OG Dana. If you can still find their old flying skulls, their skull placement's going to be perfect. The bolt of fabric actually has, you know, like about a dozen different headbands printed onto the fabric, and then he cuts them. He cuts out the shape of the headbands, whereas this guy starts as one continuous band of camo fabric, and then they cut headband shapes out of it. So the Exalt headbands, they're all going to be different. If you order 12 of them, they're all going to be different. Whereas the OG Dana, if you order 12 of these flying skull ones, they're all going to be identical. To answer that question. So, thanks.